You wondering why I'm on Doom 2? I'm not. We're reviewing a game. As you can tell by the laughter. Tiny Tina is impossible to stream without having terrible audio. So I've loaded up the shittiest game you can think of, Doom 2. There you go. So we're doing a game review while on another game.
Yeah.
No new rare.
Breaking the fourth wall. Just so you can actually hear us, but just enjoy the bullshit that's going on the screen. So, boom, game review. We'll start off with negatives. Who wants to start?
Me.
I'll start.
Oh.
How about that?
Oh,
So,
I just shout at the biggest negative. Holly.
Yeah, we'll start.
Fuck off! Why always me? Why
Well
me?
pointed out there.
You said you wouldn't,
Anyway.
dude. You said you wouldn't.
But we did. So,
Assholes.
we've got various glitches and crashes. This is what happens, as you can tell. We can't even stream on it without having terrible audio. So, you know.
But it
think-
did
I think I
originally
played-
start on Overworld. That was when you go into that, like, I'm going to say
Yeah.
cartoon side, where you've got the big heads, the little bodies. When you go into it, that was the start of the glitchiness, like, really bad. Like, half the time I was getting blamed for stuff I wasn't even doing, because I couldn't even move, or anything like that. Yes, a lot of the time I did stuff just to wind you up as well, which was so fun, but it did start off on that. And then they had the update, and that's when we thought, ooh, it's working fine, and then it seemed to get more glitchier.
You mean like on that Pokemon-themed part where if you run through grass you get attacked by an enemy?
Yeah, it's pretty much it. And it's like crashing, and you can play like you can travel twice, and then it just crashes after that.
Yeah.
And then, like, you two ended up on the map. So,
Literally under the map, we could see every
Yeah.
part of the map above us, and we were just in this weird, like, just a little box, a little dark box with the map above us. It was so weird.
I'm pretty sure I played
obviously-
about 80% of that game glitching on the screen.
Yeah.
If I want under map,
But
I was doing
there is a
one turn
disclaimer.
and appearing somewhere else.
there is a disclaimer, but the fact if you've played this game or you're playing it at the moment, you haven't completed it, they have put a disclaimer, well, not a disclaimer as such, but they explain that a lot of this game was made in quarantine at
Which
home.
They'll
So
probably explain why it's so glitchy, but it's a good game.
obviously they will update it.
I've got to
They're
say,
gonna update
considering it was made during the lockdowns and people working from home making the game, kudos to them.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
They made a really good game.
Another con I've
The
got.
con is the next one is if you're playing this game from story point to story point, like I for example, you're not doing any side missions or anything like that. The game is very short. Like
Yeah.
the story itself is short.
Just a touch.
But it does make up for it in side missions and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but,
the side missions are very long, and they are not like in a bad way long, but they're not over really quick. You've got a lot of different things you can do, but the main missions, if you do it straight off without doing a side quest, it is over pretty fast.
It is. That's another little con. You said you had one.
Yes, so me being me, no doubt I'll get blamed about this. If you shut up, Craig. If you venture off like I tend to a lot, and then stupidly get lost and you don't know where the hell you are, if you're trying to find your teammates, they don't come up on the little mini map unless you are literally right near them. And the only way you can do it is by going onto the main map. Now, for me, if you venture off or whatever, there's a lot of enemies. It's very difficult to fight whilst trying to go onto the main map to see where people are. So you've kind of got to run around and kind of hope for the best, which ain't really a bad thing, but it is when the game, a lot of the map, like the side quests, are very big areas, and if you're trying to find each other, you can't just look on the little mini map and be like, oh, there you are, because they don't actually come up, which was quite annoying at times, especially like at the start of the game when I kind of ventured off on a little thing and you guys couldn't find me, and I'm like, I'm here, you know. It's
yeah, it's difficult to find players. Obviously, you can open up your map, but when you're in mid-combat or anything like that, it's, you know, you're forever scrolling through it.
And they knock your health off a lot. Like, they're not
they
like
do.
these little easy little enemies. They are very...
They do quite a bit of damage.
Yes. So, if you go down, you've got to, you know, you can't... You haven't got anyone to revive you around you, so you'll die. So obviously you kind of avoid going onto the main map to look for your teammates, because otherwise you're going to die, which I died a hell of a lot, just saying.
Yeah. But other than that, unless you can think of any, Craig.
You had one, didn't you, Craig? About loot or something?
Yeah, I think the dropping of, once you get to a certain degree of the game, like for the past probably 5 days we've played, I have not picked up one thing that's been better than what I've had equipped.
Yeah.
It was pointless picking stuff up. I was picking stuff up for the sake of selling it, just for the sake of selling it.
Yeah, that's all you're doing. You're just picking it up for money, aren't you?
It's like I came across one weapon that were like 100 and something damage, and the one that I have on is like 400 and something. But that weapon was worth like 9,000. It was like, you do end up picking up stuff for the sake of selling it for the money, because it's worth a lot, even though it's not even any better than what you've got on. Like my spells, I haven't changed my spells for ages, because the ones that I've been picking up haven't really done much better than the ones I had on, or the damage wasn't really next to nothing, or the shields, I had a shield that were like nearly 3,000 and something, and the others that I were picking up weren't really good, so I do agree on that part.
I think you'll benefit more from it after the game when you unlock the Chaos place.
Yeah.
I think that's when you really benefit from it, but like in-game stuff, you don't really get a lot of really, really good loot for the level that you are.
The loot is shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The loot is shocking.
I mean, there's a lot of it, but not higher level stuff.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time to try and get something better than what you've got, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, tell me about it. But I think it's like, they've had a backwards thing to the Borderlands, because Borderlands sort of type game, even though it's not Borderlands, but it's made by them, buying anything from the vending machines are shocking. Tiny Tina, you can get something decent from it.
Yeah, you can.
So I spend 50% of the time refusing to buy anything from the vending machines due to past experience on Borderlands, but then the first thing I actually bought was 1,000 times better than anything I had on.
Yep. It was kind of roles reversed.
Definitely.
But
other than that,
I wouldn't say there's any more cons. I don't know if you guys agree with that. I think that is literally it for the cons.
It's the plus side of that as well, is none of it's actually game based. Most of it's just tweak based. There's just tweaks on the game.
Yeah. So pros, you better buckle up for this, because we've got a lot of pros for this game.
Oh yeah.
So obviously we said that the story was short, which it is, but the story is fun. Like, it's got some fun aspects to it, and I think the voice acting is really, really good in this game. Obviously, Tina narrating it.
I love Tina.
It's obviously
I love
playing
Tina.
like a board game. Well, it's just like the voice acting is really, really good. The people that they hired to do the voice acting,
It suits them as well. I know it sounds.
it's just,
I know it sounds really weird, but the people that they've got to voice each character, it suits the character brilliantly.
Yeah.
I
Just-
fell
just
in love with
good
Tina
over-
through Borderlands. I thought Tiny Tina
Yeah.
were fucking awesome. Bloody awesome through Borderlands, and then in her own there, she was just fabulous.
It was. She's just good actor, isn't it? It's just good acting, good voice acting, and that does actually make a game. Like if we played this game and the voice acting were terrible, you wouldn't be half as interested in story.
No.
Exactly.
It's like the little jokes, and we played. I don't think the time that you went on, we did a mission, and it was called. Do you know like Geralt of Rivia on Witcher?
Oh yeah.
So we had like a
Yeah.
piss tech on him. I think it were called. What were they called? Gerald of Trivia or something.
Yeah,
they were
Gerald
called.
of Trivia, and it was just like the little like piss takes of like certain like TV things were just absolutely
yeah.
brilliant. Like we've come across a few, haven't we?
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to watch back videos, but definitely like Gerald of Trivia were definitely one of them. Or it were along that lines.
It was just funny as all. But it took a
They did
while
another
for us to
joke of
click,
another
didn't it?
game.
Because we kept saying
Yeah.
like, "Why does this sound so familiar?" And then it was you. It went, "It's from Witcher."
Yeah, there's another one from another TV show and another game. I can't remember what it was. But and it was stuff like that. It's just little things.
The one that I clung to, massively clung to, massive Lord of the Rings fan, and
Yes.
they were trying to get into an area, and the zone bit it was saying, reading the markings or whatnot, and they worded it as "speak friend and enter." What's the Elvish word for friend? Not many people might have picked that up, but I picked it up instantly. I was like, Gandalf! But, yeah, it wasn't quite Gandalf. I'm sure it was Claptrap. But, Claptrap's not Gandalf.
Yeah. Another pro is, I know we went on about how glitchy and stuff Overworld is, but I do think it's like a really fun addition to the game.
Oh my god, so much. And if you're like me that likes to wind people up by just randomly spawning enemies so you put into a battle, it is perfect. It is.
And crashing the game.
Yeah.
You are?
Holly,
But other
Holly
than
is
it
the
being
game
glitchy,
crasher.
Yeah, I am a game crasher.
but other than it being glitchy and stuff, it's like a really like interesting thing to add into that game. You get what I mean? Like
It is
Big
because
mix
you've
it
got
up.
like even more like little just random side quests, little like missions within the overworld. You can unlock like certain areas, do little like
every
things
area is
inside
different as well.
them.
It's not like just grass, is it? It's not
No.
just grass. It's got like different areas and stuff. Which is
And the
good, like,
colour,
it just
the colour and the graphics in it as well
Yeah.
in the overworld is just absolutely brilliant.
obviously they'll be tweaking it and doing updates to it because obviously it is
Bobblehead!
extremely glitchy.
That's what it reminds me of. Our characters in Overworld, it just click bobbleheads.
Yeah.
You know the little bodies with the big heads? That bubble, bubble,
Yeah,
bubble,
yeah,
bubble.
I know what a bobblehead is.
You
Sorry,
sure?
it's just clicks. Sorry. All the time.
I think the other side of it as well is if your character's got a accessory on the head in Overworld.
Oh god! When I had that wok on my head,
Oh,
Yeah.
good lord.
it was massive.
It was that
comedy
massive, it
stuff,
covered me and Craig under Ryan's
Yeah, it's like
little
a massive
hat.
umbrella, wasn't it?
If it rained, we were safe.
Overworld, great addition to this game, and it was fun.
It was just the
Minus
the
the bug.
style of it as well, with like the random food items and the drinks and the like the
Yeah.
different enemies and the different sections you can go to. It was just, and even
It
then
was very
again,
Tina.
yes, but even then,
Yeah, it
even
was
when
very
you
Tina.
complete all the the main missions, you can still go back to it because there's still more to open. You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot more to it, which is I find really good about it. It's not a game that's over the second you complete all the missions. There is a lot
Yeah.
more to it.
That is another point that I'm going to go into now. Is there's a lot of content other than the story mission in the game. So you've got like dice and you've got poetry pages, scrolls, obelisks, you've got marbles, side quests,
I love
shrine
dice.
pieces. You've got there's so many different things to collect if you're an achievement hunter or a trophy hunter.
Or if you've got major OCD like me and you're in an area and you start finding dice, I can't leave an area until we've found all the dice because it'll bug the hell out of me. So
there's dice in every area, even overworld. There's obviously poetry pages and marbles there and there. There's always something to collect.
And again, there's some enemies that are just spawning and they do drop different stuff every time, which I have noticed if we've like done an area and we've defeated the enemies, when we go back, obviously yes they respawn, but they're dropping different stuff, so you might be looking, might find something that's good, but you're not doing like the same. I wouldn't say you're doing the same stuff over and over again. It's quite fun, I find, like the different, like you said, the dice.
It's a lot of side content to go with it. Even like obviously we said story point to point short, which it is, but that it kind of don't really matter in a sense when there's that many side missions and
like one area we were in, we had what 4 side missions and they weren't over in seconds.
No, they've got quite long. Like obviously when we did A Stranger of Paradise, the side missions were very short.
Yeah.
Whereas these have got extra, and they bring back old characters as well, like, obviously Claptrap is an annoying idiot, like, he does my head in.
Yeah.
From original Borderlands is in there, They've got different other characters. They've got Brick in there who was dressed up as a fairy.
Yeah.
Which is very strange.
And that was the area where I had a massive anxiety attack.
Yeah. But like just bringing all characters back, different content, the side missions along it just makes you like invest into the game a bit more.
If you have a fear of heights or anything like that, or suffer with anxiety, just be careful when you hit one part of it was a side mission, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the whole place. You didn't even need to go to the place.
But it was very fun to do. Mission. Just very palm sweaty for me when I suffer with fear of heights. There's a video of me purely screaming in it, isn't there?
Yeah. What else have we got on this list? Classes and character customization.
Yeah.
It's really fun because obviously at some point you can have 2 different classes, and obviously at some point, Craig, you had 2 little followers, didn't you?
I had my minions.
Yeah. Craig likes his minions. Every game we've ever been in, he likes minions.
I love minions.
But yeah, it's like they're fun to do. It's obviously the same with any Borderlands class. The character customization is a lot better than what it is in Borderlands.
I liked it because when you pick loot, you get different. You're picking up bits.
It's just random.
Yeah, you don't know what you're picking up until you unlock it. Then you can go onto your class customization, and you could unlock like a new lipstick, a new eyeshadow, a new hairstyle, a new banner, a new armor, a new statue pose, a new emote, which was like a little dance or whatever, or
little beards and eye makeup. You can unlock so many different things.
Like we discussed, Ryan's walk. But not just that, like your armor pattern as well, your armor colours. And even though we've done the missions, you still tonight I picked up 6 different ones that I hadn't even had, and you're still picking up loads of different ones every time, and you can literally go as wacky as you want and make one of your characters look anime like Craig did,
or a White Walker,
like he keeps changing back to. Or you can go dodgy, weird Jon Snow like Ryan's gone, where he had like big feather gear, which we haven't figured out how you change your armor, but it's fun because every time we load a game, someone's got something different on, except Craig. He's a little left out person.
Just a White Walker.
I'm sorry, but I'm just accepting the fact that I'm just loving the fact that I went full glitter, and I'm a glittery White Walker. And there will
Yes, he
always
was
be a
glittery,
glittery White Walker.
like blinding crystal glitter, like something
It's
you
probably
see
one
on
of
a
the reasons
sparkly
why the game glitched so
handbag.
much is because I glittered that much. I shine so bright.
Yeah. That's probably why you probably crashed games.
But I do like the customization and how you can choose and unlock
It's really good.
and focus more on what you want to unlock as well. I do this. My skill points. I've still got so much I'm upgrading on my skill points. Yet I've done a lot of them as well.
Yeah. I like that. That's good. That's a good positive. I've got another one, which some people might not about you two, but some people out there might not think it's a positive. But I think adding spells to the game instead of grenades. I thought that were cool. That were a positive for me. Because grenades, you get grenades in so many different games.
Yes.
I mean, you get spells in different games, but the amount of grenades in every single game, and then this is like you get different spells and.
That's what I
properties.
liked, trying out the different spells, and I started to figure out there were certain ones that I really liked. I don't know about you or Craig, but
Craig had that meteor, didn't he, at the start?
Yeah.
That he just
Obliterated everything. And then I changed it for something else, and then I was just firing little fucking little. My good God, my language is appalling, guys. I started throwing.
What did you
little,
really posh?
I don't know.
My
appalling.
language is appalling,
But-
guys.
The next
Craig is
spell
not
after
posh.
that just ended up being literally. It was as if it's twiddled his wand, and then he threw a tray of ice cubes at people.
See, mine was a click of the finger and ice spike would come from the ground, but I got to do it like 5 times, and you know what? It was brutal because the critical damage that it did to the enemy was just amazing. And then I had this spinny perk that I've had from the start, and that has got to be my favorite thing that I've ever used throughout the game, because instantly, even you said, Ryan, that it would, like, the damage that it caused was just brilliant.
Yeah, it's nuts. Did some really good damage.
I think the best part for me when it comes to the customization of skills and whatnot is when I decided I was for.
Oh no, that when you did that where you throwing your AA batteries about.
They want AA batteries. Shut up. I had my skill was throwing that my electric hammer, so that was like for throwing me on you.
Double A batteries.
So I launched
Your AA
that.
batteries, yeah.
My spell.
That much power as a light bulb.
My spell was electric. Everything about me was electrifying, and the entire time I rang about calling you all peasants, because that is what you are, peasants to the king and the god
No,
of
here we
thunder.
go. Peasants again.
Anyway,
Silence, peasant.
but that's positive anyway.
Craig's
For
a
all people
negative.
who've played this, all people who have played this and completed it, the chaos, I can't remember what it's called, shrine mode or whatever it's called at the end.
Chaos
Do you
Chamber,
remember
innit?
what it's called? One or other.
The chaos.
I think that's a good addition.
It
Yeah,
is
the
brilliant.
chaos. Yeah, and
The chaos
I think that's a
part.
good addition.
We've only done one. Well, I don't know if you have, but together we've only done one go at it,
yeah,
and
but it's like another
There's-
extra bit of content at the end, isn't it?
there's loads you can do in it. And although I complained about loot throughout the gameplay side of it,
That's
The
the
chaos
best.
Loot
size
in that
to
is
get your loot.
brilliant.
oh, 100%, 100%. But you've got to complete the game to be able to get to it.
Yeah.
So
Which
it's
is
like
a pet-
that's the.
It
That's the
won't
con
take that
for
long
me.
if you just rush through it.
Yeah, well,
That's the
you
thing.
just
I
do-
think a game like that
to
is
get
the
decent
one that
loot,
you
you've
should
got to
rush
complete the
through.
game and then do this extra mode. That's the way I've seen it, and it just seems a bit extreme. That finish the game, then do this extra bit on end, and then we're going to start giving you some half decent guns.
Yeah.
But I think it's because there's so many side missions and side stories that you can do. The game's not actually over. So it does work out well, because if you think about it, we've still been coming across big bosses to fight. They're just not the main ones.
No. And it's also capped your level as well.
Yeah.
So, like, you can only go
As
up to
Holly would
40.
say, every single time we were in overworld running through and attacking, walking into people to get attacked. Think of the leveling up, guys.
Think of the leveling up.
Yeah.
And then you just got that time where Ryan just decided to quit. No, not.
It crashed.
No, that time you were like, I'm not doing it, and you just left the game. I don't think Craig was on that night. Or were you, Craig?
I don't know. It
Oh, no, I'm going to bed. I had work in morning, didn't I? And I was going to bed.
And you were like, I am not doing this
100% does
battle, we're
not sound
going.
like
We were
anything
looking-
that Ryan
we were
would do.
We were looking for like a dye or something, and I can't remember. And some stupid floaty thing came out of some grass and got me, so I just left game. I'm too tired. I'm too tired for this.
That does not sound like anything you'd do, Ryan, in any shape or form.
Yes, it does.
What are you
No,
lying
I'm just
for?
trying to be nice to you, sir.
Even I can't see through that live.
But no, I do think that like Chaos Chamber or whatever, it is brilliant because, like I said, even though the game's not over, you can go into it, you can get a lot better loot, but like you said, it's different as well. It's a lot different, and you can choose to do that for like however long you want, like do it over and over again because it's different each time. Or you can go and do like the side stories, or you've got the overworld. So there is loads of different parts once you complete the game that you can still do. So it's not just over with straight away.
Well, my personal favourite point of the game throughout, no matter any aspect of it,
No, I want
has
to
got to be.
before you say it.
Are you sure?
You are?
Are you sure? My pure favourite part is on a few of the levels. There's these teensy little crabs, right? And what you can do is you can jump and crush the crabs.
Asshole! Sorry, no, I'm not sorry. I said it. Those little crabs were so beeping cute, and I said it's cute. And you killed it and murdered it right in front of me! Why would you do that? These little itty-bitty cute little crabs literally door-hammered the hell out of it and smashed it to smithereens! You brutalized that poor little innocent crab! You are an anus!
And that reaction is the reason why it's my favourite part of the game.
The favourite part of the game is just summed up in one word. Do you know what that word is?
Dina.
Derek.
Little Derek with his little tushy butt and his little mushroom face and his... Oh, he's just
Your
so
boy
cute.
Derek.
Derek got some fan butt cheeks on him.
Your boy Derek.
Who I
If you
now
don't
want a
know,
little
Derek,
teddy
if you don't watch
version of as
any
well
of my
as a
videos,
videos.
if you like most of the population, I say most, I mean pretty much everyone of the population who doesn't watch my videos and you don't know what we're talking about Derek. Derek is the king.
Derek's the shiznick.
He's
Oh,
the
shut
king
up, Craig!
of the
Craig, don't
game.
start kissing Derek's behind now. When you were so against him, and then you started licking his behind, and like, I'll protect you, Derek. I'll protect you.
Because no matter how much you hate Derek, right?
can't hate him.
My issue wasn't with Derek. My issue was with Ryan. So
with me.
Derek was down, and I was down, and Ryan ran straight past me to revive Derek.
Which you would.
During which I completely died. It cost me 6,000 to get revived. Derek, it costs nothing to die, and he just comes back on his own.
I know.
And Ryan purposely ran straight past me, so for the remainder of the night, my mood was, screw you, Derek. Screw you.
The love I have for that mushroom man.
That was my issue with Derek. Because it wasn't technical with Derek, it was with the fact that Ryan chose Derek over me.
Yeah, the love I have for Derek is unbreakable.
And I'm his girlfriend, and I can admit that.
But unfortunately, every time I saw Derek in trouble,
You just instantly go to him. He's just so damn cute. He's like the Catois. He's like the Catois in Strangers of Paradise. He's just.
Well, I saw Ryan at the other side, and I saw Derek, and he was being bombarded by a few people. And my first thought was,
Protect Derek.
the first thought was, I'm going to watch Derek get beaten just for Ryan's sake. And then I saw one of them, just one, hit him.
Pummeling him.
And the rage inside me just erupted, and I unleashed my Thor's hammer and obliterated all of them to protect Derek.
This is why Derek is the king.
Derek is awesome.
Game. Derek is the king, and that's it. Everyone loves Derek, and if you don't love Derek, well,
Screw you.
take a look at yourself in the mirror.
I can't remember what class it is that you get Derek.
What she said, but more polite.
Just politeness. If you don't like Derek, just get gone. Simple.
What class were it that you got Derek again?
Oh,
Let's just give everyone the clue for it.
Is it Spore Warden?
That's the one. My second class, I wish I chose that one so I could have.
No, you can't have another Derek. You cannot replicate Derek.
We should
No,
have
do
had
you
an
know how?
army
Do
of
you know
Derek.
how I have to agree on that because I kept going back to that one, and I was like,
Replicate.
I could have a pet, and I was like, no. Craig's got his pets. Ryan's got Derek. I just won't have one because you can't have another Derek. And as much as I wanted my own little guy, I couldn't. And that is another good thing with this game was the fact that you could customize and rename your pets.
But we could have had an army of Dereks.
You don't need an army of Dereks. You've
There
got
could have
Derek.
been Derek, Donald, and David.
No.
And they would have
No.
ruled
I
the
can't.
world.
I can't do Derek like that. He's the
They
king.
would have ruled the world. The three of them. It'd have been the three mushrootiers, and they'd have absolutely wrecked it.
I feel like we talked about Derek a lot more than any other positive.
We
He's
did, we have,
fast. He
actually.
kills enemies.
Which makes me
He's
feel
just
warm
brilliant.
inside.
He's just
Oh, he
brilliant,
does.
and
He's special.
he looks so evil but cute as well. It's like you want to pet him, but then you're scared he might bite your hand off. And he does these little cute dances. You can interact with him, and he just, I mean, he will never stay still for a photo. And
He won't.
I mean, he
But he
must do
runs
some
funny as
stinky
well.
farts
His
because he
little
kills
legs.
enemies. His little legs when he's funny.
And his
Oh,
perky bum.
his perky bum.
The
I
one-
want that perky bum.
The one bit I took in because we didn't really explore all the pets. So the dragon's quite boring. It just flies away. You can't do out with it. It just occasionally comes in and flies and breathes fire on it. Pretty boring. So he got named Harold. And I can't remember what we named the demon.
Harry.
So I called him Harry afterwards, but I don't think he was called Harry originally.
He
But
was.
you could interact with him and he'd come out with some
Herbert.
funny stuff.
Herbert,
That's the one.
wasn't
Yeah, that's the one. I'll have to go back on and rename him. But the demon, I interacted with him once, and out of all the times I've interacted with him, he only did it once. And he did a very, 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 very Tiny Tina famous quote. It's a song. Do you know the song, Ryan?
No.
I'll give you a clue. Pop goes the bandit.
All right.
Oh, yeah,
He
because
sang-
when you were stood next to me and he was singing it one day and you tried to get him to
Yeah.
do it again so he could show
He sang that
Ryan.
song. I got extremely excited. I think I did a little wee. And I spammed interact on him. And I've done it ever since. And he's only ever done it once and I cannot get him to do it again. But I got so giddy. And
I'm
he
sorry,
let
but
a
your
demon
it
do
does
it.
not look like a demon, though. It just looks like a little weird head with wings. Sorry, just being brutally
Damn
honest.
you.
Nothing is ever going to beat Derek.
Derek.
Derek's a mushroom.
Derek's the king.
Derek
It's
is a
mushroom
funky
nose, mate.
mushroom who is just cute.
Demons aren't meant to be cute.
I feel like
It
we need
doesn't
to
even
move on
look
from
like
this
a
subject,
demon.
else we're just going to be arguing about it all night.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Has anyone else got any positives?
Me. I'm a positive on the game.
Has anyone else got any positives?
For me, to say, like you said earlier, it was made in lockdown. The graphic content, like the colour, the gameplay, bar the glitchiness, It is
Character models and stuff.
it is an incredible game. The detailing in the characters, the detailing in the areas that you go to are just brilliant. And again, they're not small. They are very large areas. And
Yeah.
And I like the different enemies, like the work that's gone into naming each different enemy. It's just funny seeing like the random names that they've given them. It's just, and the trolls, like, wow.
Like the Cave of Dave.
Yes, there's the name of like the certain side missions as well. Like the creativity and the imagination that's gone into this is just brilliant. Yeah. To say it's been made at home, it is brilliant. And for me, out of the games that I've played so far, it's got to be my favourite. Like, without a doubt. Without a doubt, hands down, my favourite game so far. Like, I'm not bored of playing it.
There's one part we've not touched on, which I'm quite impressed with. From playing Borderlands as much as you have, like me and Ryan, we played. I think we played more, haven't we, Ryan?
Borderlands a lot. Yeah. I've played them all several times.
So it's obviously similar, but obviously meant to be different at the same time. So adding that melee factor and different weaponry for it. I don't think they ever had that in any others, did they?
No, well, it was just whatever your character had, so I think...
Exactly, that's what I know you had a knife if you were someone... Yeah. Depending on what character you had.
Punch people.
Yeah.
I played one at Borderlands with you, didn't I?
You can pick up random hammers, big-ass swords, a scythe. There's so much...
Even wands. Yeah. Even little, like, golden star wands.
It gives you that creativity on the fact of even your melee you can customise.
It was great.
I think it's, again, like Ollie was saying, considering it was done in lockdown and people working from home, to take a game such as Borderlands and make it something as unique as this, kudos to them, kudos, and I've really enjoyed it, 100%.
The final question is, what we're rating it out of 10?
9.
Me? I'd say a 9.5.
I'm going to give it an 8.5 just because of the glitchiness, and if it's fixed and it's fully working and it can stream without having dodgy audio, it bumps up to like a 9.5.
Yeah, I said 9.5 because of the glitchiness.
It would have been if it weren't for glitchiness, I'd be a 10. But the glitch is the only reason why it's dropped me to a 9.
If it weren't for the glitchiness, you've literally just took the words right out of my mouth. If it weren't for the glitchiness, it would have been a straight 10 out of 10 for me. But I'm giving it like a 9.5 or 9.5 or whatever you call it.
Yeah,
purely
that's the only
only
thing I can fully crib that game on is the glitchiness, and it needs a bit more updates.
The reason I've given it 9.5 is because it's not really their fault, because again they did it from home, so that is why I've given it that score, because it would have been a solid 10 out of 10 without a doubt. Hands down.
Up to a 9. I'll go up to a 9 then, because I'll go with Craig and go 9.
Thank you.
Brilliant game, and I'm not even bored of it yet, and we've still got loads to do.
That's the bit. We've finished the entire story. Quite a lot of people just think, "Oh, I jump on it every now and again." Whilst all three of us are in the exact same point of, nah, let's just keep playing it. Because there's so much more you can do, and it's just enjoyable. Like, you have a laugh doing it, and 100%, 9.
So that's a tip for anyone. If anyone's looking to buy this game, unlike Stranger Paradise, where we said wait until it's cheaper, this is completely worth the money that
100%.
they're charging for it. So obviously, it might come on sale if you want to wait and get it a bit cheaper, then you'll be getting a great deal. But we definitely 100% recommend you play this game. And obviously, you might get a few crashes and bugs and stuff. Just
bear in mind, it's literally not their fault. You know,
no.
Think about the fact that they made this game at home, in their own at-home environment, not in like some fancy office building, whatever. They've done it in their own home during lockdown with probably limited resources, and it's just brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, Highly recommend this game. If you can, go out and buy it. If you can, play with your friends. You know, it's always fun to do. It's a great game. You'll have laughs. You'll find little Easter eggs. Go out, buy it, play it.
And
That's all
if
I
you
can
have
say.
played it, let us know what you thought
Yeah.
were pros and cons, what you did and didn't like, and, you know, anything else that you can think of that we haven't mentioned.
Yeah, just put it in comments. And we'll chat with you in there. No problem with that.
It'll be good to
Yeah, just
know.
give us your thoughts and your views and what you thought of it. And give us ideas to play other games as well. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, give us other ideas. Yeah.
Oh God, I'm not getting involved in
Yeah.
that part.
Yeah,
I'm the
right.
more normal one out of the both of them.
And that's a great time to leave that one there. We shall see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.
Too low.